wait to see it, your mistakes and masterpieces.
I'm much better now than I was before. I'm not perfect, I don't deserve it. Gave me grace, plus that mercy, I'm still unworthy. But yeah, he's working on something bigger than what they discussing. He told me, chill, don't start fussing. You a masterpiece made from nothing. So I'ma just be with the facts, yeah. Start off worse than I rap. The devil stay on me, watching my moves, but I do not worry about that. I'm built to stay and never fall. When I need him, he's involved. Mistakes to a masterpiece, they look at me different, now I'm on the wall. This artwork ain't for auction. I brought my brothers for precaution. It is what it is, man. Have a spin, get me dripping, I'm a boss. This artwork ain't for sale. I'm wishing everybody well. I gotta represent Christ, cause on that cross he was nailed and he never failed, he did.
I think that he turned mistakes to masterpieces. He would do the same for you if you believe. We gon' make it, baby, I put that on me. Just wait and see, turn mistakes to masterpieces, yeah. I think that he turned mistakes to masterpieces. He would do the same for you if you believe. We gon' make it, baby, I put that on me. Just wait and see, turn mistakes to masterpieces, yeah.
Can't send me out a message. Can't send me out a message.
Yo, what's poppin'? This is Str8Talk with your boy, Ken the Messenger, and this is a great show tonight. I have a great show lined up for you because I have a great guest, Miss WGN, Miss everything. I've seen her work on TV shows, I've seen her work on stages, I've seen her work on Stellas and everything. So I have Miss Cannye Edwards. How you feeling?
I'm good, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So you're an amazing makeup artist and wife and daughter, but we want to talk about starting off because we've already had the show before the show even started. We just had a whole conversation that probably would have blessed y'all. So I'm gonna try to get her to say some of them nuggets that she said again. But just tell us about yourself.
So my name is Cannye. I am a licensed cosmetologist. I'm Illinois' first certified decerologist, which decerology is the study of hair, skin, and nails for the deceased. So I started off doing makeup and cosmetics for funeral homes. So I worked in funeral homes. I did intern for the Cook County Morgue. So really I thought that the journey for my life was going to be still being in the forensic, science, but God had other plans. So now I am a licensed cosmetologist, but I do makeup. So I work for WGN. I do the morning news. I do the guests that come on there. I've done work for Lifetime, ESPN, Food Network, BT, TV One, pretty much every network you can think of. Wow. My name has been in the credits for that. So pretty much I'm known as a TV production makeup artist. I also have a studio in Oak Forest where I service my clients Thursday through Saturday.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And you do all that?
I do.
And you're still a wife?
Busy. I'm still a wife. God, that's my main. The main job. My husband is super supportive. I've known him since I was 13. We met at my parents' church. Wow. My parents are pastors in Chicago Heights. So
he was kind of with you through the journey, so he understands.
He has, yeah. He's been there when I was just little Cannye, not really with two clients. Look, I went from overlooked to overbooked. So he's been there from the beginning.
That's dope. How is it breaking in the industry being a woman?
You know what?
Because a lot of people think that just because you're a woman, it's easy because you do makeup, but that's not true.
To be honest, production is really male-dominated, especially even with cosmetology. You will see that a lot of hair, skin, or hair, makeup, nails artists are normally males. So it is, interesting that I get the opportunity. I'm just grateful it's favor. I tell people I got into it in a sneaky way. I tried out to be an extra for a show and then slipped in and told them I don't really want to be on TV. I just want to be behind the scenes. And from there, that's how I was able to kind of sneak and get into production.
Wow. You did a Les Brown move. He did something. You
gotta do something different, though. You know, if you keep trying to put your resume, and go through, the agents and that kind of stuff, you gotta do something different to get something different.
Yeah,
so
you gotta stand out a little bit.
Exactly.
So I saw Cannye. I follow her on. We're friends on social media, and I saw her. She was talking about having a discussion on her live, and she was talking about the church, and she was talking about how the church could be more effective. And so one of the things you brought up on your live was mental health. How the church really doesn't really help the mental health aspect. Can you explain a little bit on that?
So pretty much my rant that you saw was it was interesting.
It made sense.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I had got controversy because I had rainbow lips. I did rainbow lips makeup. So a lot of members were like, "Oh, that represents pride." At the end of the day, it's God's colors. It means covenant rainbow. But nevertheless, that stemmed the conversation of mental health. I was like, we focus on the sins of homosexuality a lot in church, but we don't focus on our mental health, our financial health, and our physical health. I just was saying that there's no way possible that we should have stage 4s of anything. If we're having health fairs constantly, such as mammograms, prostate cancer checkups, diabetes, like things of that sort, that needs to go on in the church. Mental health, you have so many people, musicians and singers and ministers, who serve in their capacity on Sunday, and then Monday they're suicidal. They're going live saying that they're going to commit suicide, or they're standing on the edge of the lake, or they're literally putting these depressed, posts. We're such a depressed, defeated body of Christ to be so victorious and faithful as we sing on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we don't address, like I said, mental health, financial health. There's no reason that we promote tithing and being good stewards of our money, and we promote give, but how do you teach the people to give when we don't have good credit in church? We don't have, we're not lender. You know how the Bible says we're supposed to be the head, not the tail, above, not beneath, lenders, not the borrowers. A lot of us have landlords. Some churches have landlords still. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we should be teaching financial health, mental health, as well as physical health. That goes along with building the body and the temple. And I think that we would be more effective, and I think the unchurched would have more opportunities to want to be a part of something when they see that it's holistic all the way around.
What do you say to the person that their pastor is not up to that challenge? Because I feel like the church can only do what their leader, the leader is leading them. So if their leader isn't doing it, and the leader isn't up on mental health and up on business and stuff like that, how can the members grasp that?
You know what? This is what I think. I think that you should have a leader that's receptive to wanting to have a movement of helping his or her church to move forward. I think that the members should be able to have feedback by maybe having a meeting with the pastor. If it's a mega church, you probably have to go through all the other little steps to get to the pastor, or just whoever would be in charge. But I think that if you're paying your tithes there, if you're sitting on boards there as deacons or choir members or whatever your title is, you do in fact, to me, have a right to give feedback as to what you should have. Or maybe you can bring it to your pastor as a proposal and say, "Hey, pastor, instead of us selling our chicken dinners all the time, can we in fact have a fundraiser where we bring in nurses?" It's so many nurses and doctors and accountants and CPAs and all these different people who are actual members who can use and utilize their services, for. Like for me, if I'm a makeup artist, I could do a pamper day, or I could do a esteem day for the teenagers or for the women. You know what I'm saying? If, in fact, let's just say you're a lawyer, you can talk about legal things or how to, just whatever that, that would be.
Yeah.
If a nurse, she can maybe bring in some of her colleagues and they can do blood testings or things of that sort, HIV testings, all kind of different things that should happen. So I feel like if a pastor's not on board with that, then you're a disservice to your church, because you can't just preach spiritual, because the body is mind, body, and soul. Yeah.
When we come back, we have some more Straight Talk with Miss Cannye. This is Spiritual by Kurt Franklin. And we are back with Miss Superwoman. So look, you work a lot outside of the church.
I do.
Why?
You know what? It was prophesied over my life, actually, by my father. I think he didn't realize. He was real traditional then. So he was like, I prophesied that you're going to be, doing Hollywood and TV production. And I don't think he realized that would be outside of church.
Right.
And so many people, were telling me, like, I see your gift, just reaching the nations and just being, of course, outside the church. I think it's amazing because I work with secular people, whether they're athletes or secular artists or just whatever, and they're the most humblest. I go to churches and you see all these armor bearers and bishops so-and-so, and they got 5 and 10 people behind them, and you barely can talk to them. They barely give you a hello. And then I'm with actual millionaires who are Grammy Award winners, Emmy Award winners, Oscar Award winners, have the most humblest spirit, and they're actually believers and they're Christians. So I love that opportunity because also I'm able to show Christ outside of church. I don't have to say I'm a Christian. It's just how I carry myself. Right. Or if they're nervous, I'll say, hey, you want me to pray for you before? And they're like, oh, that's different. Sure. Right. Things of that sort. Or just in conversation, I can maybe talk to someone who's atheist, but maybe they'll say, well, you have a grace about you, or you have something about your life, and I'll say, you know what, it's God, and then that sparks the conversation. So yeah,
I think that's important. Just to be outside. I was telling you earlier, a lot of people give me lash for performing, and not just in church. Right. I want to do a show at Reggie's. Yeah, and they was like, wait a minute, that's not church. They're not. Yeah. But I'm like, how
would they come?
That's right.
They're not gonna. I love the Lord. The unchurch is not gonna even know what that means. That Roma Shiko, they don't know that language, but they're gonna that beat. They're like, oh, what's this? What? It's the difference about him. Then when they come after the show and talk to you, you're like, oh, you know what? I'm a Christian, performer. Then they're like, wow.
Did you get any backlash for performing? I mean, not performing, but doing your thing.
Absolutely, but I'm not going to wait until you finish your A and B selection to pay me. You get what I'm saying? The church can give all their backlash all they want, and I'm not here to bash the church because obviously that's what created me, that's what made me. My parents are pastors, but I'm just saying we speak about this spirit of excellence, but sometimes when it comes to even paying your gospel artists, your musicians, your makeup artists, your glam team, we got a little chicken dinner downstairs for you. No, that's not a payment. I know I'm fat, but that's not a payment. I want a coin, okay? So the secular, I have no problem getting my check. When I tell you no problem, like sometimes it's not even a deposit, it's bling, it's there even before I get to the venue. So we speak we speak about this spirit of excellence, but the secular realm does have that spirit of excellence. You see why a lot of musicians, I was telling you earlier, they're going to take that secular gig because that's a coin, and then when you get back to regular service and it's a little $200, $300 a Sunday, no offense, you just kind of like not motivated anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a taste of being free, using your gift. No one is, judging you, or if it's just like a non-judgmental world, and we're supposed to be the non-judgmental. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I received backlash, but my mom and dad, being pastors, are very supportive, and because I tithe, I don't think it's a problem.
How is that though? Being PK. Because I think you get more. I mean, I think you get it just because you're a Christian and you're a public figure. But since you're a pastor's kid, their friends, your mom and dad's friends, be like, "Yeah, I saw your daughter. She was in LA with that athlete." You know what I'm saying? So how is that?
You know what? My parents have been so super supportive of my parents have been supportive. Their friends, not too much, backlash. I've learned to separate the two in a way. I try not to be so offensive. Even like when it came down to my wedding, I had 2 receptions. I had the nice, sweet, holy one downstairs in my church fellowship hall, and then we had a separate fellowship hall, a separate reception. And when the pastors, the different ones, found out about the second one, they was like, "We could have came to the second one." I was like, "Well, see, I ain't know." Right. But no, they think it's cool. They, I don't really have too many problems with the pastors or my parents' friends. It's really just the hearsay outside, the members. They have the whispering and things going on. But the funniest thing is, you're tuning in and watching this stuff. You are fans of this stuff. Your children watch it. So what's the issue? So yeah, and like I said, it goes back to the money aspect and the exposure. You just get more exposure when you are on a secular platform. And it's really how you conduct yourself. I'm at after parties. I'm invited to parties. I'm invited to hotels to do makeup and things of that sort. And it's how you carry yourself. So those same virtues and the values that my parents instilled in me, it's how I carry myself. I am very controversial, though, when it comes to my social media. Yeah. That's why I tell people there's a personal page that you can follow, and there's a business page. Right. The business page is going to always be very business and professional. The personal is going to give my views. And I feel like as artists, we're always shut down. You can't say this, you can't do this, you can't talk about sex or religion or politics and things of that sort. And I'm like, we have a platform, why not talk about it? Right. These are the issues that are going on. And I have so many people who behind the scenes will tell me, thank you for saying that, or thank you for shedding light on that, or thank you for not judging my gay son or my gay daughter who was suicidal. Thank you for bringing that to the light. So when I have more positive than negative, then that makes all the more.
And you feel like you've been, it's effective.
Yeah. And that's but like I told you, we're the church outside the church. I just told you someone had, like I said, coughed up cancer in like a actual tumor ball. And they wrapped it up, took it to the doctor, it was tested, that was actually the cancer. They didn't, no surgery needed. And so that was not in church. That was little B.O. makeup artist in my studio, no church. I wasn't Ramasia. I just said, you know what, we command you to live. I command this sickness to dry up. I command this tumor to be gone and dissolved. It came out of her. Wow. Literally, she went to the bathroom and threw it up and coughed it out. So that's why I said we don't have to be in the four walls per se, doing miracle signs and wonders. And what happened to all the miracle signs and wonders that we're supposed to do? Do you hear of a lot of miracle signs? Well, you don't hear about that anymore. It's all about $250 is in the room. It can't be in the room if our credit is bad. It can't be in the room if we're having to pay our landlords. It can't be in the room if we're not owning things. It can't be in the room if we're unhealthy and we're depressed. You know what I'm saying? If, in fact, we take care of, goes back to that holistic care, when we take care of the mind, body, and soul, then you'll have better reception of people coming to church. You have so many people who are unchurched or just watching it online because they just don't even want to deal with the whole, they're looking at what I wear, they're looking at what I do, my son is gay, or my son is a gangster, my son is in jail. You don't want to even hear all that. And that's sad that we don't want to come to a place of healing or a place of worship due to us not being brother and sisters like we're supposed to.
How do you deal with your holistic healing? What's some things you do? So,
I'm an aneurysm survivor. So June 28th makes my anniversary. 2015, like I said, I was diagnosed with the brain aneurysm. So, pretty much, I changed a lot of my diet. I don't eat like beef and pork. Now, I'm not telling people. They probably like, "Oh, you're still obese." Yeah, I'm obese. No, you just got to keep it real. But at the same time, my blood pressure is good now. My sugar levels are good. The aneurysm, they check it every 6 months, and every time they check for it, it's sometimes so small till they have to recheck it. It's like almost like barely visible. So alkaline water, yoga, people's like, oh, don't do yoga because it's not of God, and I don't do the chanting part of it. I just do the calming part and like the movements and things of that sort. So I definitely try to take care of my body because, like I said, we're a very for us to be concentrating on other little sins and other things, we're a very obese, group of people for church because all we know to do is to eat. Right. You go to choir rehearsal, eat. You go to church, eat. You go to Bible, Right. So I definitely do more of the holistic step than I do, like the modern medicine type of thing.
What do you think about Canye's service?
I actually like Canye's service. I watch Canye's service. I tune in. I'm actually on the page. I have a few friends who actually sing, every Sunday with him, which that was good for me to know because the ones that do sing with him are very solid. When I say solid, they're like for real Christians. So I'm like, that's a good thing to know that they're balanced, but they're able to be around him. Yeah. They said that they pray, that they, gather in prayer, they hold hands, and like tears have shed, and like it's literally like a lot of breakthroughs that are happening. I think it's phenomenal, and I was just telling somebody the other day, how do you not know that that's not his healing? That's not his way of, dealing with any mental issues that he might have. So I think it's phenomenal, and I would love to attend. It's all the way in LA. I think it's dope. And they actually sound good. Some of the church choirs are sharp and flat, and they actually sound real good.
When we get back.
And I'm not lying. You won't have to say it.
We'll be back. They sound flat. And we are back. So, Cannye, what's the biggest obstacle that you've had to face or tackle in your marriage?
The biggest that I've had to tackle in my marriage, I would say probably, well, two things. When I got sick, the aneurysm had me down. I got very depressed. Was not in wife mode, daughter mode, nothing mode. So that just had me, just literally feeling defeated. I didn't feel like I was going to even be able to live. I kept, Google will have you dead. Yeah. You'll feel like because Google said, an aneurysm is a ticking time bomb. So I was like, oh my God, I'm a ticking time bomb. So I would say that moment. My husband works for CTA. He's been working for CTA for probably 15 years. So he was unemployed with CTA for 9 months. They did like a huge layoff some years ago. So that was kind of a situation where we're like, whoa, because he wasn't getting his full pay. So I would have to say those two moments. We're very good communicators. Of course, we're not a perfect couple, but we started off as best friends. We started dating when I was 17. We went to prom and stuff together. I got married when I was 23. So he's known me from the course of me being a young adult, puberty, teenager, young adult. My career is his. What do you mean?
That's a long time.
I know.
That's a long time.
You know what? I know his triggers. I know what triggers him, vice versa. I know, what makes him happy. I just gave him a card for Father's Day. We don't have any kids yet, but we celebrate, the future and the faith in it of him one day being a father and me one day being a mom. So I just told him, I said, thank you for not being my heartache. Thank you for not being my headache, but thank you for being my heart and my head. And so that's what I truly meant, because people were like, y'all be so corny and y'all not tired of each other after all these years. But we literally started off as best friends first and then, husband and wife. So I feel like that friend aspect will help, maneuver through, everything else, because when you know how to be friends, then the relationship is a little bit more solid. You get what I'm saying, if that makes sense?
Yeah. But what advice would you give young couples that want to be married?
I would say communication. I would say prayer. I would say get to know each other. Check each other's credit out before you get married. Check each other's goals. What do you want? He might want 4 kids. You might want 2. Have those hard conversations before you walk down the aisle, so there's no surprises. Of course they tell us not to shack and all that kind of stuff, and not to. But I was, just make sure that you guys will be compatible. That that the living, because it does get different. It's a whole difference from dating and getting married. Because it was like, did you iron my uniform? I don't work for CTA. Oh, I'm supposed to iron your clothes. Got it. Oh, you gonna make me something? I'll make you something. I made myself a sandwich.
I'm not hungry.
So you just got to make sure that you just have that communication and have a prayer life. I always tell people learn the love languages too. His is acts of service. He likes acts of service. I'm not being nasty, y'all. Acts of service meaning, and if I was married, the acts of service meaning like when the house is clean or doing things to help out, and he likes that. Mine, I'm not a gold digger, but mine is gifts. That's my love language. I like gifts, and it doesn't have to be nothing big. It could be like if he went to the store and got a Snickers bar or something. Oh, I thought about you. Then I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. So I would say just learn love language, learn how to communicate, pray, all those good things.
I've heard of love language, obviously.
Yeah, it's 5 love languages. I think you have to Google them. I think it's active services.
I think it's touch.
Touch, yep.
Quality time.
Quality, I think that's one. And then also the gifts. Look, the gifts. I definitely know that's one of them. But yeah, I would just say that. He's super supportive of what I do, and it works well because he's a corporate blue collar person, and then I'm an entrepreneur. So it evens out the relationship. Yeah. From him, he knows when he's gonna get paid, and me, my payments come, as my gigs come. So it definitely balances out. He's super, super supportive, but I'm very independent. I was working at the funeral home when I was 16 years old at W.W. Hope Funeral Home in Harvey. So when he met me, as a
funeral home,
I know most teenagers are working like McDonald's, like a normal Walgreens or Walmart or something. I was at the funeral home, passing out tissue and driving her. I learned how to drive a hearse with my permit. So he's that's all he's known me to be, a hard worker, and to be when I say abnormal, just be that different person who just dares to do something different. So he's super, super amazingly supportive. I mean, whoa, he's super supportive, yeah.
How is the entrepreneur aspect? You know, how a lot of people think being an entrepreneur is just you don't have a boss. Like,
no, you know what? I tell people your client is your boss. You know, so even if I'm my own boss, quote unquote, really I'm not. It's my client. My client is whoever employs me for that moment, whether it's my client in my chair, that's my boss. That's who pays me. So that's employees. That's my employer. So it's, you know, IG has it like, you know, oh, you flexing your Gucci and you doing all this. And no, it is a lot of taking risk. It's a lot of praying. It's a lot of crying. You might get a charge back. Your client might charge back the account and do a legal chargeback. Like, I didn't pay for this. This wasn't supposed to come out my account.
Right.
And post a picture and tag you and everything, you know? You might have moments where you cannot go to bed because you have to complete projects. You might be doing proposals, sending invoices. It's a lot to being an entrepreneur. So I tell a lot of people who want to step out of corporate and go into entrepreneurship, make sure you have a backup plan. Make sure you have a savings account. Make sure you have money saved up. Make sure you give yourself vacation days, off days, because there's some certain times where I would literally work 7 days a week, and then I'm not able to be a proper wife to my husband, or a better, you know, child to my mom and dad, or a sibling to my little younger sisters. So you have to definitely set out days that are your off days, your work hours, and like not bring work home. You know, sometimes I won't even stress my husband out about what went on, because now this is my time to enjoy my sanctuary. So
was that hard starting out though?
It was, because that's the person.
That was your friend. That was your best friend.
And then I know that it's not. He don't have a social media, which is so annoying, because his family be like tagging me. This is your husband when he was a little boy. Show it to him. How about tell your son to get paid? Yeah, I know I can trust him with my everything, because he's not a gossiper. He's not gonna be like, yeah, Cannye said, or like if you see someone, Cannye don't like you. Like, he's not that person. So I can actually, you know, just unpack, if you will, and feel like safe, you know, to do that. But now I have a network of entrepreneur friends where we can just text and be like, oh my God, I quit. Right. I tell everybody I fire myself on Saturday and I rehire myself on Monday. Because by Saturday I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to do this no more. I'm going to go back to the dead. They don't talk. They sit still. But then Monday I'm like, oh, new opportunity. Oh, I got an email. Oh, I get to do him. Oh, I'm doing Common this week. Oh, so then it gets fun again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's next for your makeup artistry?
So next I'm going to be offering a service called microblading, microshading. It's a permanent tattoo service for the brows. It's really going to be geared toward alopecia clients and cancer clients. I've had a lot of my cancer patients, survivors, or currently going through cancer, you know, ask me, what can I do as far as my brows? And then I'm known for doing really clean, good brows. Hopefully mine look nice today.
No, they do.
But I'm known for doing it, and my clients, they're like, oh, I wish this could last permanently. So starting in August, I'll be offering that service. And yeah, still going to be working on production, still working with WGN and all the other networks that I work with.
The balance aspect of your jobs, how hard was that starting out when you stepped out of the church, or, you know, when you stepped into more of a international setting, if you will?
It got easier as I started to understand my roles and understand how to maneuver and balance things. For instance, now I open up my calendar month to month, so that then I'm making sure I'm not overbooking my clients, but so that then also whatever I get from set, whether it be WGN, WCIU, Fox, whomever is calling me, I have all that in the calendar, and then I'm able to service my clients. I never want my clients to feel like they're an afterthought, like, oh, she does, you know, TV now, she doesn't really care about us. No, that's the reason why I'm able to do what I do, because they saw the exposure from that. So I just make sure that I don't overbook, that I communicate effectively with my clients. My clients are amazing. They are such fans, and like, I don't want to say like, oh, I'm just like big time, because I have not reached where I want to reach, but I'm just, when I say fans, they cheer me on, and they're like, if you got to switch my appointment around because you got to do TV, we're fine with it. Oh, you got to do Lifetime today? Oh, okay, well, just, can you do me Friday? You know, like that. Right. So they're super, super understanding. And so, yeah, it was just pretty much all about orchestrating, you know, the days that I'll be in salon and days that I'm out. That's
so
all.
Your calendar is your best friend?
It's everything.
Right.
Like that's the only my booking site is pretty good, and it's pretty good. Like Str8Talk, it has like your reviews are on there. The payments, you can just do everything on there.
And so when you started out, social media is what got your work out there more, or was it word of mouth?
It was word of mouth, actually. So before social media was even a thing, it was word of mouth. And so that's why I tell people, if social media failed today, what is your backup plan? Because I was doing this way before social media was a thought, way before makeup. Everyone is a makeup artist now, if you notice. Like, everybody's like in that art, I'm a makeup artist. But I was doing it way before it was a thing. I was in before it was a trend, should I say. So what you have to...
You need to start a clothesline with all these little quotes.
With all these little quotes that I have, yeah. I would just say create an app, too, so that then people can keep up with you of what you're doing. Because like I said, what if there's a day where social media... I think, remember that one time social media shut down? Or y'all remember it was Facebook? Facebook was down for like almost a day, like 8 hours or something. And everybody's like going crazy. And I was just chilling because I'm like, my clients know how to come. They know how to book me on a site outside of Facebook. And yeah, so I think that most entrepreneurs should probably start creating an app or have a physical website that people can still be able to keep in contact. Because I was able to still send out an email blast, and business was as usual. So, yeah, we depend on social media. And don't get me wrong, social media has got me a lot of stuff. B2K tour, the B2K manager found me off of a hashtag. And I'm like, do you know how many Chicago makeup artists there were? And he just chose me. And I was like, that's the grace that's on my life, but the favor. And I was honored. So got a chance to, go to the hotel, do the dancers, do everybody. And so that's the power of social media. So I don't slight it, but I'm just saying, make sure you have a backup plan if it was to shut down. Yeah.
Because your president will shut it down anytime.
Oh, God. He won't even let us go to Cuba.
What would you tell... you basically said a lot of stuff when it comes to business, when it comes to makeup artists. But you got a few makeup artists on now. So what would you tell them when it comes to their creativity? Or just artists in general? Just
because this industry could be considered oversaturated does not mean it's not for you. I know as soon as a person heard that I was going to do makeup and cosmetology, they were like, oh, that's the typical thing for a black girl to do. She either becomes a CNA or a hairstylist. And I was like, wow, that's not encouraging. So I think that was the fuel that I needed to make sure that I just broke down barriers. I was like, I don't want to be just known as just a makeup artist or a church makeup artist. Or I just wanted to make sure that I just was known as an artist, a philanthropist, one who gives back. So I would just tell that entrepreneur, don't be discouraged. When you go to a grocery store, you see all types of brands of bread, butter, chips. There's all types of things, and there's an appetite, for that. You might like Cheetos. I might like the hot Cheetos. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So someone is going to want what you have, and just don't be afraid when you do it, but also when you do become that makeup artist, make sure that you have product. You want to make sure you're making money while you sleep, because if you're only a service when your hands are in motion or when you're in motion, you're a disservice to yourself. Have a product, whether it's lip or T-shirts or a makeup brand, just whatever it is that you can sell, so that when you wake up you can say, oh, I have 4 sales that's going out, or 40 sales, or whatever it is. So yeah, I would just say stay true to yourself, do things that's different and daring, and have a fallback plan.
Do you have any clothing or makeup?
I do have a T-shirt line. It's called Soar period, meaning just soar without soar even with turbulence. I also have highlighters. I have eyeshadows. I have lip line, lash lines. So I have all that. So, and then I also send out mortuary kits to makeup artists. So they run for like $500, and it's just a kit that they can prepare the deceased with. Yeah. Because it's a separate makeup from the living. So makeup for the dead is different from the living, yeah.
And it's called what again?
It's a decerology kit.
Ooh.
But it's $500. So imagine if 40 people buy it or 5 people buy it. And I get a couple of orders maybe a month from those. So that's, like, again, that's something, money while you're asleep. Because we're always hustling while we're awake, trying to make money. And that's good. That's great. But what are you doing when you're asleep? Where's that other stream, of income? What if you get pregnant? What if you're sick? What if your child's sick? And your service, exactly. So you got to have that fallback. Like, I wasn't able to work this week, but I made some sales, Yeah.
But maturity-wise, since you started early, do you think you got a head start by working early and just getting into the business? Because how old did you?
I started working when I was... let's see. Well, in the mortuary science, 16, I started actually doing hands-on makeup and hair for the deceased when I was 18 years old. So, yeah.
So you started pretty early.
I became licensed and certified, I think, when I was 19 or 20. So, yeah, I learned a lot. Learned to have a lot more wisdom. Went up on my prices, appreciated my worth, researched, experience. I'll forever be a student. It doesn't matter who I've done, from the Grammys to the Stellars. I've done all that, but that means nothing if I don't continue to educate myself. It doesn't mean anything if I don't give back to other makeup artists or other entrepreneurs and encourage them. So I'll forever be a teacher, but I'll forever be a student. I'm constantly, we have to renew our license this year, so I'm doing a lot of continuing education courses just to make sure I'm in line for the state of Illinois, because, state of Illinois is greedy. They're going to keep it going.
When you went up on your prices, what was that like? Because I got a lot of entrepreneur friends that engineers and producers, and they go up, but they get a lot of, you're just working with them now. You just got to charge more.
So I'm going to tell you, the more I went up on my prices, the better my clientele got, because it automatically weeds out the client that's going to complain and the client that may not, and I don't want to say can afford you, but the one that's going to complain and be like, it costs this much, so-and-so do it for this. Right. Then go to so-and-so. Let, them do the ABC 1, 2, 3 makeup on you. When people want a discount, how about this? If you want a discount, which would be half off, what if I just let you walk out with half of a face? You wouldn't like that. Right. Or if I'm doing your hair, what if I just did half this side of your hair and not this side? You get what I'm saying? So when you break it down like that, or what if your boss didn't pay you your due? I have a fee that if I'm working before or after my hours, or even after hours, that's a charge. Why? Because if you went into your corporate job, that's overtime, right? So once you explain things and communicate effectively to your clients, it's one thing to say your price was $45 and then now it went to $75. That's it. Communicate why it's done that. Well, I've been doing this for some years now. I'm experienced in this area. I've taken extra courses. This is why that price is.
Gotcha.
But you definitely have to grow. I mean, the gas goes up and down. Food goes, so
yeah, nothing stays the same.
Yep, it comes with the territory.
And since you educate yourself more, you got to pay for that education.
Well, the more experience. I think when I first started doing makeup, it was $25. And now I probably have something on there for $100 and something now. But people will pay it. Right. And as I said, when people complain and say it's too much, I have to look back at all the people who are still paying it. So if that one person is saying it's too much, but 100 other people are paying it, then you're the problem.
Right.
So like I said, when your price is up, it will bring an appetite of those who can afford that. The ones who can't afford that, you probably don't want that industry anyway. Right. And I hope that doesn't sound...
No. That's
you know what I'm saying? It's going to attract the right person. So, like, my clients are offended if I give them a discount. They're like, what? I don't want it. Oh, okay. But if you get the first ladies, they can afford that. Right. They wearing the crystal Louboutins and the custom outfits, so $100 face you can pay for.
What is your goal, since you've already done a whole lot?
My goal is it has nothing even to do with makeup or the beauty industry, just philanthropy. I love to give. Anyone who knows me knows that I love to give. I give secretly. I don't broadcast me giving, and I hate when my friends, say that I've done some. I've done things where my friend was living in a car, and so we raised money and got him out of a car. That. Yeah, but guess what? No one would have known if he didn't get online and make this Facebook Live thanking me. I'm like, no one knew for months that I did it, because you're not supposed to know, and that's the problem in church. We have to, I help sister so-and-so. No, that's not what it's about. I helped with homeless. Every year that I turn a certain age, that's how many kids that I normally do something for back to school or for Christmas. So I'll be 36 this year, and my birthday is always around back to school time. So 36 kids will sponsor, so we give them a Walmart gift card, book bags full of, items. So really, that's what I want to be known for. I want to also just help other entrepreneurs, help them have seed money or grants and things of that sort, because there's not a lot of grants out. You notice that we have baby showers, bridal showers, weddings, birthday parties, but we never have an entrepreneur shower. And when someone opens a business, it's like, okay, she's opening a business. But we don't come together and actually have a shower to support them. What do you need? Tissue or a light bulb or things of that sort. So I really want to just do give back. I want to be a philanthropist. Like when it's all said and done, that's still servitude and that's still Christianity, being a philanthropist.
And that's a big way to show God, really, because he gave. I saw a post. I think, did you post it? I'm not sure. I saw a post about how 10 things you can do without giving money to support a friend or something like that.
Yep, I think it's like sharing a post. I have some people who have never sat in my chair, but every single day, if I posted I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, they're sharing it. Yeah. So that right there is the support. I have guys who are gonna never sit in my chair and get any services. They share, hey, hit up my girl. She good with the makeup. So that's support, and that costs nothing. Right. We sometimes scroll and somebody can be a concert. I'm support him. No, just share. Right. Share it. Give a comment. Say something. I have people again who've never sat in my chair, but it's on their heart to donate. So what's your Cash App? And I'll be like, oh, Cash App is $CANNY. Bing, the little change sound. So it's different ways to, to give and to share and support. But social media is a powerful tool, and we have to use it for the good. We always see the negative of it, but the positive aspect is the hashtagging, the sharing. You see your friend doing something, click like. It doesn't. It takes seconds, and then that lets the person know they're doing good or to keep going. Yeah,
it's encouragement. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You've been amazing. You've had so many of your people on, and I think Kelly commented like 16 times already. Jeez.
Really? I can't see any of this stuff. I'll go back on it.
But thank you so much for just being you
honored.
And just helping. I hope you have a class one day to help us for real. Like just how we can become better servants. Yeah. I think that would be dope. So anyway, thank you so much. How can people follow you and your website and all that good stuff?
So all of my social media handles is my artistry name, which is ICannye Artistry, ICannye ARTISTRY.
Okay.
ICannye, that comes from my name. My real name is Candace, so that's biblical.
People call you Candace?
Yeah, people do call me that, and I'm like, it's Candace. I was supposed to be Shakira Nicole, but my dad, being a pastor, wanted a biblical name, so it's in the Bible. It means the Ethiopian queen in Acts the 8th chapter 27. So Forever 21, last real quick, from the bottom of the bag it says John 3:16. Do you know that? On the Forever 21? Yeah, so I wanted to have a subliminal for ICannye, so the I can comes from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, that whole thing.
That's dope.
So it's just, that's my subliminal. I don't just, I'm not shouting it from the mountaintops, but if someone says, oh, where does your name come from, then that's my way to say, oh, it comes from Philippians 4:13.
You got a whole lot of like secret witnessing.
You gotta be subliminal with it, because just because you wear a shirt that say G, that's why it was so funny when he was like, do you have the decals on your car? No, because I might not be so Christian if they wouldn't cut me off. So I don't want you seeing that this is ICannye's car. But no, I'm subliminal with it, but I still share Christ. Yeah.
That's dope. You've heard it here. ICannye, Miss Candace Edwards is on Str8Talk, and I appreciate her for coming. Go to the website, get your her makeup done, get your makeup done.
You can get theirs done too.
Get your brother, he finna have a baby, get his makeup done. He gonna be on camera. Everybody, I'm gonna even come get mine done when I get the chance. When I get an opportunity that pays
Obama
enough.
wears it. Common wears it.
You gonna do your presidents?
What'd you say?
You gonna do your presidents?
You know what? If
the money right.
That's what I'm about to tell you. you tell me that you need me to come work for you a 6-figure job.
You ain't turning that down. I don't blame you.
That orange pumpkin will be fierce as ever. Under the Holy Ghost of the unction of my makeup, okay? So for the right price, yes, I will do it. I might introduce Christ to him.
And I don't blame you. He need it. Anyway.
He's like, oh, we can do him. Yeah, I would do him.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will see y'all next week. This is Everything's Gonna Be Alright by PJ Morton. Later.